What's up, everybody? Franco here with Frank Analysis. You guys read the title. You know exactly what I'm going to talk about. The whole point of debates is not to own the other person and be like, "Oh, I gotcha." It's about trying to convince the other person, and you also being open to being exposed to new ideas, exchanging the ideas, and coming to an understanding. That's if you want to be objective, right? That's if you are open to the truth. But instead, we get people like Vaush who want to hold on to this narrative. They want to hold on to it no matter how many pieces of evidence are presented to them. They don't want to accept it. To me, it looks like it's somebody that's out on a mission to misinform people purposely. Maybe he's not conscious of it. I mean, I can't prove whether it's on purpose or not, but to me, it looks like it's on purpose. Like he's purposely trying to misinform people, and then that in turn creates division. And then this goes for everybody. Like people debate each other like online, like in the comment section or on Twitter, social media. We have to be open to what the truth is. Like we want to be objective. So don't hold on to emotions. Don't be so attached to something that you just want to be true, because you could be wrong. And if the other person isn't open to accepting it, then move on to somebody else who's more open to the truth and reality. Now, I've discussed here some differences that I've had with Jackson. Like he's been on the show before, and I've reached out to make amends. We've discussed that here. We have our differences in MPP and the Great Reset and whatnot. He may not be seeing the full truth when it comes to that. Whatever. At the end of the day, there are people who are more anti-imperialist than others, and those people are, more on our side than people like Vaush, people like TYT. These people need to be exposed, and having these debates are good ways of doing that. And in this case, in this debate, Jackson had all the facts and evidence on his side. Now, I will say Jackson, though he did do an excellent job when he was presenting all this evidence and talking about all the facts regarding what happened, right, with the OPCW report, reciting a lot of the reports that were presented by the whistleblowers. In the beginning, he did agree with Vaush about Bashar al-Assad being a brutal dictator. He's like, yeah, I agree, Vaush, can we move on? Like, the problem with that, and I've discussed that here on this show, is that when you say that about other leaders that were democratically elected, and Bashar al-Assad, which Syria just had an election, and overwhelmingly the Syrian people voted for him, if you're still calling him like a brutal dictator, that's manufacturing people's consent for U.S. intervention. I know that there's going to be some people, that are going to be like, yeah, but it doesn't mean that we should intervene, and we can still call him a brutal dictator. Guys, if the majority of the population, like in the case of Syria, 95% of it is voting for Bashar al-Assad, and if you don't have any evidence to back up your claims for why he is a brutal dictator, then the U.S. will use that as an excuse for why we need to remove him from office. And then you think the U.S. is going to install someone that the Syrian people want? They're going to install a puppet. So I just wanted to point that out right there. Regardless, whether Bashar al-Assad is a good or bad person is irrelevant when it comes to here, because it's like, if you're making these claims that he gassed his own people, like whether he's a good or bad person is irrelevant. Like for example, like Hitler, for example, he didn't nuke a country, but if somebody's saying, oh, Hitler nuked a country, are you defending Hitler because you're saying that no, that's historically not true, and there's no evidence to show that Hitler nuked the country? Right? You're not defending Hitler's character. You're just defending facts. Vaush, on the other hand, was claiming that he knew more. It was as if he was claiming that he knows more than toxicologists and ballistics experts and all these whistleblowers who are on the ground. And rather than being open to, oh man, I didn't know that, I was wrong, or saying, oh, like, what do you have to lose by saying that you were wrong, or saying that, dang, I didn't know that. Could you tell me more about it? Like, it's a learning experience. You got to be open to that. But because people like Vaush refuse to do that, not just with Jackson, but with a bunch of other people. Like he's rage quit on Nico House when Vaush realized he couldn't win that debate. Nico was presenting historical evidence about Joe Biden's fascistic behavior. And then Vaush would try to weasel his way out, getting distracted by with definitions and trying to control the conversation his way to try to distract from the main point. Take a look at these two clips and let me know what similarities you guys see.
I'm feeling like I'm arguing with a Holocaust denier right now.
Vaush, where is the video?
Wait, does that make you... Wait, you actually want the video of, like, people
send
dying?
It to me. Because you said there was a video from showing a helicopter dropping something on... You didn't say it was chemical cylinders.
I can't prove claims I literally haven't seen made, okay? You can go back and review the VOD if you want. You're free to clip it. That didn't happen, okay? Please listen to me and not to the voices in your head. That wasn't said.
Cool. We will just move on from that and accept the fact that you're wrong.
Referring to? So in this video, like, I can't show it on my stream, but, like, there's pretty clearly a gas canister and people freaking out. Did, like, people plant the gas canister and then got a bunch of crisis actors who later died to, like, freak out on camera, and then they died with foam at their mouths?
No one's alleging.
I'll send you the video. Can you give me an explanation for this?
Vaush, no one's alleging that the people who died were crisis actors. People are alleging Ian Henderson is alleging that, yes, like you just said, the canister was manually placed. So I'm glad you've been able to understand that now. And you asked who peer reviewed this. I told you it was the members of the fact-finding mission team.
Doing this conversation
and also, OPCW executives have never been able to debunk his claims with public investigations or reports.
Wait, so do you believe in crisis actors?
I don't believe that. You said the people who died, I'm alleging, are crisis actors. I've never alleged that.
I just sent you a video. There are people scrambling and freaking out, and you can see a gas canister. They are acting the way you'd expect them to if their house just got hit by a chlorine gas canister. Is this video faked? Did somebody run in there, plant the gas canister on the roof, and then get the camera ready and have a bunch of people freak out, and then later people in this video were found as corpses? Is that, like, the thing that happened?
So the white helmets who are running around Duma and the site of the scene who are alleging that there was a gas attack, I believe those individuals were construing a false narrative. Yes.
This isn't white helmets. This isn't white helmets. Well, I know you keep wanting to pivot to that because you have, like, prepared talking points, but this is not white helmets.
Vaush, let's just go point by point here. If you believe if you believe, and I'm not saying you do, but let's say you believed Ian Henderson's report that he
can't.
What?
Oh, wait. If we're at the point now where you're so obviously aware that you've been blown the fuck out that you will literally not participate in a conversation that we are having.
No. Ian Henderson's report said that the
I've already given you more attention than you deserve. I know you were desperate to get my attention. If we're literally at this point now.
Ian Henderson's report said that it was more likely that the crater had been made by an explosion, probably from an artillery round, rocket, or mortar.
Have fun, my dude.
That the cylinders
talking to you was identical to talking with the neo-Nazi. There's literally no difference between you people.
That these cylinders were manually placed, and it was likely an artillery round, a rocket, or mortar that caused the explosion. Okay, so if you had an explosion that went off, and you had white helmets who were running around yelling that this was a chemical attack, wouldn't you probably be freaking out? Hello? Oh, he must have. I don't know what happened.
Point. Before we get to that, though, I would like you to either A, give me a definition of fascism you were using, or B, acknowledge you didn't have one and you thought fascism meant authoritarianism. Okay? So I'm going to unmute you. Wait. I'm going to unmute you, and then I want you to do one of those two things.
Okay, so let me be very clear about something. You don't dictate how I decide to engage in discourse. So there's one.
Wait, I absolutely do. Yeah. If you're dodging every question, yeah, I do.
No. First of all, I haven't dodged any questions. Second of all, you never let me finish answering the first question, which I'm still trying to answer, and I've been trying to answer for the last 10 minutes. So first, I will address your original rebuttal, which was nothing that I had said at that point about Joe Biden adhered to the definition, quote unquote, the definition of fascism. Based off of what you provided, that is ridiculous.
What is your definition of fascism?
That is utterly ridiculous.
So you're not going to tell me.
First of all, I'm going to give my definition of fascism as soon as I address everything that I said and then everything that you just said. Then I will define why I decided to use those examples.
How long do you expect that will take?
Oh, sweet baby Jesus. I don't know, Vaush. I'm on your time. What's up, man? What do you need from me?
Ideally, you could provide your definitions immediately.
It took you 30. Listen, Vaush, it took you 30 minutes for me to convince you to provide a definition that you put the burden to provide.
I put the burden on you.
You the one who said that we're
never going to discuss the actual issue
definition.
Here. Yeah, hold on.
Clearly, your intention was never really to discuss the issue. Do you have any
final words for the stream? We're literally 20 minutes in, and I actually can't talk.
So in other words, so hold on. So you realize that you couldn't actually debate me on Joe Biden.
You can't. Wait, so we can't even get to the debate. Time, right? We can't even get there.
Yeah, you're right.
You were so polite on Twitter. What happened?
Trust me, Vaush, you haven't seen Not Polite yet. I'm still in polite mode.
What is this, like, trying to e-gangster? What the fuck are you talking about? I'm just trying to talk with you about my ideas. Why are you acting like this?
E-gangster.
Yeah. You know, like keyboard warrior? Yeah.
Keyboard warrior?
Yeah.
Vaush, really?
Yeah.
You didn't have a lot of friends in high school.
You're not even responding. Again, you're not responding to anything I say.
You didn't have a lot of friends in high school, did you, Vaush?
What the fuck are you going on about? You didn't have a lot of friends in high
school. You didn't have a lot of friends in high school, did you? If you think that this is being rude, you're really sensitive, man.
I actually can't believe somebody like you engages in IRL activism. It's insane to me.
I bet you can.
Can I ask you an honest question? What was your perception of me before you came here? Because I have trouble imagining you're generally this stupid, and this is something you're reserving because you think you should be antagonistic.
I'm generally well, if you believe I'm generally stupid.
I literally just said you're not. Wait. I literally just said I don't think you're generally this stupid. Anything that I said in this conversation is stupid. Yeah. This conversation has been insanely stupid.
You haven't really addressed anything I've said. You've been dodging, which I expected you to do.
All right.
But basically,
holy shit. I can't believe it. There's nothing I can do with these people.
So in those clips, we see that Vaush, when he knows he's lost. Okay, you can watch the full debates for full context. When he realized he lost, then he leaves. He knows there's no way out. There's no way he's going to make the other person look bad, because the other person has the facts on their side and they're more calm. In both those instances, and in general in debates, the calmer person and the one that appears most confident is the one that appears to be the winner. Whereas if the other person is being a child and getting mad, name calling, refusing to accept evidence when it's in your face, and refusing to accept logic, those people look like they're losers in that situation. That's what happened to Vaush. Like, he very apparently looked like a loser. And that's his whole shtick, creating false equivalencies, like calling people who don't accept the mainstream media narrative regarding our foreign policy, or people who refuse to vote for Joe Biden because they don't want to vote for imperialists, and who don't fall for the two-party illusions. He makes false equivalencies and calls them Nazis or Nazbols, and he's cultivating all these people into being like that and generating division. And so it's important to expose these people. And it's not just Vaush, like TYT and other people who defend TYT and are sympathetic towards TYT. Like, why would you be sympathetic towards people that misguide people and promote State Department narratives that leads to foreign tensions? Like, the U.S. increases tensions for the U.S. to intervene in these countries, which causes death, destruction, rape, all of that. It's evil. And so we've talked about it on this show. Like in the case of Kyle, like if he knows these people are if he knows his friends are misinforming people, then that needs to be called out more. And it's not just like, oh, it's a civil disagreement. No, it's not. Like that's dangerous, and it needs to be corrected. If it was Rachel Maddow or somebody in the mainstream news that was spreading spreading misinformation that leads to war, he would be calling that out. But he won't do that with TYT because he sees them as his friends, or he wants to, like, he's a part of their network. He wants to keep some of those fans as subscribers of his. Whatever it is, the lesson here to learn for everybody. And I've been in one official debate, and I've had like unofficial debates when I have my panel discussions and I moderated debates. The lesson here to learn is the calmer person, the one that's more objective, that has the facts on their side, those are the ones that win. And you're usually going to convince those that are open to objectivity, whether it's on a platform like behind a camera, or if it's in the comment section or in social media. You're more likely to convince more people into seeing the truth. And if people don't refuse to accept reality based on everything that you're presenting, then whatever, just move on. Just move on to the next person that will be convinced. What it shows, when Vaush rage quits like this, is that he's a child. There's other people like that who are children, who don't like TYT, for example. Like, they're all children who are just so attached to something. They don't want to let it go. Like, no, I'm not letting this go. I'm not letting go of this narrative. Rather than being an adult and letting go and being open to the truth that you don't know everything, and that there's information out there that you may have not come across, and being open to that. The whole goal is to have a better world, right? We can't achieve that if we're not open to the truth. If we're not open to what is actually the problem or the problems that are happening. And so if we don't know what the actual problems are, because we're closing ourselves off, then how are we going to come up with the right solutions? How are we going to know, for example, based off historical evidence and based off of evidence of how our elections are, how they're not secure, how we live in an oligarchy, how are we going to know that voting for the lesser of two evils isn't going to get us anywhere? It's just going to be the same thing every term. No matter what president is in charge, we have the same people that control our presidents are going to be in charge. And so we have to come up with a better solution, right? Than to just vote. Like, we have to realize that we need to have direct action. How are we going to know what's actually happening in the world, like in other countries, if we don't realize the problem of misinformation and manufacturing consent via what's equivalent to state media here in the US, because we live in an oligarchy and we live in a country in which corporations control everything, and so the corporations are controlling the narrative. How are we going to come up with solutions if we're letting the mainstream media and people who repeat what the mainstream media says, like Vaush, if we let those people manufacture our consent? How can we come up with solutions? Thank you guys so much for watching. Ways that you can support the show are in the description below. And most importantly, stay informed, people.